It all started with one unexpected clip that sent the entire internet into a frenzy. Fans who had followed Dylan Wang for years thought they had seen every side of him, but nothing could have prepared them for what surfaced this time. The video was short, no longer than a minute, but it captured something that no one could deny: the raw and undeniable off-screen chemistry between Dylan, Bai Lu, and Shen Yue. The tension, the laughter, the way they looked at each other, it was as if the line between acting and reality had finally disappeared. The clip began behind the scenes of their drama set. Bai Lu stood close to Dylan, her laughter echoing softly as he teased her about missing her line again. Shen Yue was seated nearby, flipping through her script, pretending not to notice, yet her eyes betrayed her. Every time Dylan's voice filled the room, her gaze lifted, drawn to him like a quiet magnet. When Bai Lu playfully nudged Dylan, his hand brushed hers, and for a fleeting second, everything stopped. The cameraman himself seemed to freeze, uncertain if what he was capturing was part of the rehearsal or something far more real. The atmosphere that day was charged. The crew exchanged knowing looks, whispering as they continued filming. When the clip leaked online, fans were divided into two camps: those who believed Dylan's heart leaned toward Bai Lu, and those who swore Shen Yue's quiet affection had always been the one thing he could never ignore. Social media exploded, comments pouring in from every corner of the world. Some said the spark was unmistakable, others claimed it was just professional chemistry, but deep down, everyone felt something deeper. As more behind-the-scenes footage emerged, the story grew more complicated. One moment captured Bai Lu and Dylan sitting together after a long day of shooting, sharing snacks and laughter. Bai Lu leaned her head lightly on his shoulder, her eyes tired yet warm. Dylan didn't pull away. Instead, he smiled faintly, whispering something that made her blush. The camera zoomed in just enough to catch that soft moment, a glance that said more than words ever could. But what fans didn't expect was Shen Yue's subtle reaction when she walked in. She didn't say a word, but the flicker in her eyes told a story that silence could no longer hide. She simply smiled, offered them both tea, and quietly walked out of the frame. That one gesture became the center of thousands of fan theories overnight. Was she pretending to be fine, or was she already letting go of something she had quietly held for too long? Days later, an unseen clip emerged showing Shen Yue and Dylan in a quiet corner of the studio. The lights were dim, the set empty. Shen Yue was laughing softly, her head tilted as Dylan adjusted her microphone. There was something almost fragile about that moment. No acting, no cameras rolling, just two people caught in a quiet exchange that spoke volumes. Dylan looked at her as if he was trying to memorize the shape of her smile, and Shen Yue's laughter faded into a silence so deep it could be felt through the screen. Bai Lu, on the other hand, seemed to notice the growing tension between them. During a live promotional interview, when Dylan was asked who among his co-stars made him laugh the most, he smiled and said softly, "Shen Yue always surprises me." Bai Lu laughed along, but the audience could see the brief pause that followed. It was subtle, almost invisible, but fans caught it instantly. The clip went viral within hours, captioned with words like tension, triangle, and truth finally exposed. What made this story so explosive was not just their chemistry on screen, but the way they carried it off screen with such raw authenticity. Every smile, every glance, every unspoken word felt too real to be mere coincidence. The production team had to step in, reminding fans to respect the actors' personal lives, but by then, it was too late. The internet had already chosen sides. Weeks later, a behind-the-scenes interview surfaced. Dylan was asked how he managed to balance his closeness with both Bai Lu and Shen Yue. His reply shocked everyone. "Sometimes, when you care about two people in different ways, you start to lose track of what's real and what's just a scene." That one line broke the internet. Fans flooded the comments, demanding to know who he truly meant. Bai Lu's reaction was calm yet distant. She posted a single line on her social media, saying, "Sometimes silence is the only answer worth giving." Meanwhile, Shen Yue remained quiet, avoiding public appearances for several days. When she finally returned, she looked softer, quieter, almost as if she had made peace with something the rest of the world couldn't understand. The tension between them only grew when they reunited for a variety show appearance. Cameras captured the awkwardness that no one could deny. Dylan sat between Bai Lu and Shen Yue, his gaze shifting subtly between them. Bai Lu tried to lighten the atmosphere, cracking jokes, while Shen Yue remained calm, her laughter short and measured. The air was thick with unspoken emotions, and every fan watching from home could feel it. By the end of the show, one thing was certain: whatever had existed between the three of them had gone far beyond simple co-star friendship. It was a story of connection, confusion, and unspoken longing that blurred the line between fiction and reality. And even though none of them ever publicly addressed the rumors again, the moments they shared continued to linger in the hearts of millions. Fans still revisit those behind-the-scenes clips, analyzing every glance, every laugh, every pause in their conversations. Some call it acting chemistry, others call it destiny. But one thing remains undeniable: Dylan Wang, Bai Lu, and Shen Yue created a story off-screen that no script could ever capture, a story too real to be forgotten. When the lights went off on set that night, and the cameras stopped rolling, the silence felt heavier than the applause. Dylan stayed behind, sitting quietly on one of the prop chairs, staring at the empty stage. Shen Yue walked past him, her expression calm but her eyes hiding something deeper, something no one had noticed until that night. Rumors had been spreading all week. Clips of Dylan and Bai Lu laughing together during rehearsals had gone viral. Fans called it harmless chemistry, but the tension behind the smiles told a different story. Shen Yue had seen those moments too. And though she tried to hide it, her emotions began to break through the surface. That evening, a small gathering was held for the cast, a quiet celebration for wrapping up the drama shoot. Laughter filled the room, glasses clinked, and cameras flashed. But behind those flashes were glances that carried years of memories and unspoken words. Bai Lu, radiant in a silver dress, walked over to Dylan. She placed her hand on his shoulder, whispering something that made him smile faintly. It was innocent, or at least, that's how it looked. Shen Yue, standing across the room, watched quietly, her fingers gripping her glass a little tighter. The director, noticing the silence between them, teased lightly, "You three have such chemistry on screen, maybe it's real off-screen too, HM?" The room erupted in laughter, but Shen Yue didn't join. Dylan's gaze met hers across the crowd. For a moment, it was as if time froze. No laughter, no noise, just the quiet exchange of two people who had shared something the world could never fully understand. Later that night, after everyone had left, Shen Yue returned to the empty set. The moonlight spilled across the floor, reflecting off the silver props. She walked to the spot where she and Dylan had filmed their final emotional scene, the one where their characters said goodbye. But now, standing there in the dark, it didn't feel like fiction anymore. She whispered softly, "How did we end up here?" Behind her, a voice answered, "Maybe we never left that scene." She turned. Dylan stood there, still in his jacket, hands in his pockets, his eyes tired yet sincere. "I didn't mean to make things complicated," he said quietly. "Bai Lu and we were just—" Shen Yue interrupted, shaking her head. "You don't need to explain. I know what the fans see, and I know what's real. But sometimes, even what's real hurts too much to hold on to." He stepped closer. You think I don't see how much you've changed? You pull away, but you still care. You still look at me the same way you did years ago." Her voice trembled. "Because part of me never stopped." The silence that followed was sharp, fragile. He reached out, but she stepped back. "You have your world now," she said softly. "And maybe that's where you're meant to be. I'll always be proud of you, Dylan, even if we were never meant to stay side by side." He looked down, swallowing the ache in his throat. "You were the best part of all of it," he said quietly. "Every line, every scene, every look. You made it feel real." She smiled faintly through the tears she had tried so hard to hide. Maybe that's why people believed in us. The next morning, the news broke online. A fan had uploaded unseen behind-the-scenes footage, a short clip of Dylan and Shen Yue sitting close during a break, laughing softly while Bai Lu watched from the background. The video exploded across every platform within hours. Comments flooded in, filled with confusion, curiosity, and heartbreak. Was it real all along? Who did he really love? Why does this feel like the ending of something beautiful? Within hours, the hashtags trended worldwide. Hashtag Dylan Wang Shen Yue, hashtag off-screen chemistry, hashtag real or real. Bai Lu, seeing the chaos, stayed silent. She posted nothing, said nothing. But that silence was louder than any denial. Days passed, and fans continued to argue, analyze, and replay every frame. But behind the noise, the three of them, Dylan, Shen Yue, and Bai Lu, disappeared from public sight for a while. Weeks later, during an interview for a new drama, Dylan was asked about the viral footage. He paused before answering. "Some moments," he said carefully, "are meant to stay between the people who lived them. Not everything needs an explanation. What matters is that those moments were real, even if they don't last forever." His voice carried a quiet truth, one that hit the hearts of millions watching. Shen Yue, in another interview, was asked the same question. She smiled gently, her tone calm but distant. "Some stories are written for the screen," she said, "but some, they write themselves, even when the cameras stop." That one sentence sent the internet into chaos again. Fans called it poetic, heartbreaking, and real. Later that night, Bai Lu finally posted. Her caption was simple, just one line beneath a black and white photo of the three of them laughing during filming. "Some bonds can't be defined, only felt." It became one of the most shared posts of the year. Months passed, and though each of them moved on to different projects, fans never forgot the triangle that blurred the line between fiction and reality. And even now, when old clips resurface, viewers pause, wondering if what they saw was just acting, or something that slipped through the cracks of performance into truth. Because sometimes, the most unforgettable love stories aren't written in scripts. They're written in the quiet glances between takes, in the words left unsaid, and in the emotions that live on long after the cameras stop rolling. And for Dylan Wang, Bai Lu, and Shen Yue, this was one of those stories. One that would live forever in the hearts of fans who saw the truth hidden behind every scene.